I'm very happy to see you today and to welcome you to Al Estrellato with another beautiful project. And I have to ask you, Adria, my first question to you is, now that you've done so many different things, right? How do you choose? How do you pick and choose your roles, when it comes to a next big move?
Oh God, that's the question that I'm asking myself right now because I have to make a decision today. So you hit the spot. I don't know. I've always, even since the beginning of my career, I've always kind of just been very director driven and very character driven and different tones, and I'm playing in different fields and continuing to sort of challenge myself has always been something really interesting to me. And I think as a Latin American woman, I guess I have this huge fear of being stereotyped. So the way that I've sort of combated that accidentally without really thinking about it is by hopping around in different genres. And so now I'm like, now it's a little bit different because now I feel like I'm having a little bit more of a choice, which is exciting. And you work really hard to get to this place. But then now I'm like, oh, but I want to do them all. And I can't because there's not enough time and I'm really tired.
This role in particular, I find it very interesting because, this is a group of women facing situations that you don't want to see yourself in, one. But being a woman, we are inured to not saying what we want to say. So I think that there's a lot to learn from this group of women in this particular story. What's your take on it?
I think my take on it, or what I take away from, is, success and money give this really false illusion of safety. Sometimes a lot of young women get excited or overexcited about that, and they feel safe. And I think, Frida and Sarah and all the girls and even the guys are like, oh yeah, it's Slater King. Of course we're going to have fun. Of course it's safe, right? And we don't even put into consideration that he was already canceled. And that kind of gives that illusion of safety.
You have been probably in many, environments where, there's a lot of powerful people, a lot of people that have a lot to say. I wonder, when do you think, or if you remember the first time that you felt that your voice was heard, that something that you said in one of those environments, right, with a lot of powerful people, like I said before, when do you think that your voice was heard or considered as to change probably the path of the movie that you're working on or the project that you were embracing?
I think it'll forever be a challenge. I think it'll be a challenge for a while. I think if you push your word out too much, then you get categorized as something else. So unfortunately, you still have to navigate those things. And it's something that I'm navigating still. I had with it in Hitman, being in a writing room with Richard Linklater and Glenn Powell, my voice was always heard. As a matter of fact, it was asked that I had opinion, that I had, and then you might go somewhere else and it's like, no. It all depends if they're kind of interested or not.
But let me ask you something. In this particular project, that you're working with a girl like Zoe is the director. And she's not only a director that has been also, familiar with this industry for a really long time. She's an actress herself. How was the experience different? Did she allow you to punch holes in the story, and give your own voice to the character, aside from obviously what was on the page? How was the relationship?
I will say there was no need for me to change anything in the script because I really liked the way that it was written. I just think when it came to Zoe, her sort of angle into directing is really, she's an actress. She is so empathetic when it comes to the position that she's putting her actors through. She's been there. She has been in our position. And yeah, she heard us out. She heard, with the big dinner scene, at the end, that I have this big monologue, reran that over and over and over again in her office. And we kind of changed things. And I had opinions that ended up sticking. Then I also had opinions that didn't stick, you know, and that's a collaboration, you know. She's very collaborative. And
I wonder if there's anything that you have, any advice, any piece of advice that you have received in your career that nowadays you can say, wow, this is been etched in myself since I learned this trick or this tip or this whatever. And if there's any other thing that you might have wanted to have, you know, growing up in your career that now you do have, and you feel, wow, if I would have known this before, you know, I would have loved it, or I would have worked my way, you know, in that regard.
never compare yourself to anybody else's career. And this is not only in acting. I think this is goes throughout every, you know, every career. I think we live in a world where we're constantly on our phones and we're constantly comparing ourselves and wanting to have something that the other person has or doesn't have. And I think just really focusing on your path and your journey is the most important. I think comparing yourself to other people's careers is dangerous and really unhealthy. If you're authentic, no one can be like you.
Ah, that's beautiful. Thank you
That is
so much, my love.
that.
It's always a pleasure, a delight to be in your presence in any way, on Zoom or in person. I wish you nothing but the very best. I love
Thank
you as
you.
an actress. I think you're doing amazing. And every step of the
Thank
way, you've been consistent. And that, my friend, you should receive 1 or 2 taps on your shoulder for that. So congrats.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.